This is 5-minute revision and we're on paper 2, question 4. So in this question, you're going to be comparing the whole of source A with the whole of source B. And the focus of this question is on the writer's views. Now in the question, it might say views, attitudes, or perspectives. It's all the same thing. It's what do the writers think, feel, or believe about the topic that you've been given. Okay, so here it's their different attitudes to the two schools. How do they feel about the two schools? What do they think of the two schools? What's their view of the two schools? Okay, what's their opinion? So these bullet points are actually really helpful in this question. So you want to compare their different attitudes. This is really important. Don't write loads and loads and loads about A and then run out of time and write nothing about B. You're really going to lower your marks. They're very keen on this question for you to compare A and B. So make sure you do a point about A, point about B, and then if you've got time, another point about A, another point about B. So all the time you're comparing. To get more marks, we also want to think about the methods the writer uses. So just like in paper 1, question 4, we have this idea of method. Methods is anything in the way it's written. So it could be language, could be words, language techniques, it could be structure, it could be mood, it could be atmosphere, it could be the format that they've used, it could be the tone, whether it's funny, it could be the formality. Okay, absolutely anything. So once you've got your quote that you think shows the view of the writer, try to comment on something in that quote about the way it's written, okay? And obviously, as I've just been talking about quotes, you do need to include quotes from both texts here. Okay, so I've got a couple of little excerpts from source A and 2 from source B, just to give you an idea of how to do this. So here, the first thing I noticed was this sentence here. It says, from the grime and dust, I walked into an oasis, a calm, bright, welcoming and orderly building. So I think this quite clearly shows this writer's view of the school. Now remember, we don't want to repeat the words. So here it says calm, calm and bright. What's a synonym? Well, we could say peaceful, doesn't it? He thinks it's a peaceful place. Welcoming, friendly, orderly, maybe organised. So try not to just say the writer has a positive view of the school. You want to be a bit more specific. So here we could say the writer in source A thinks that the school is a peaceful, friendly and organised place. Yeah? So we might want to use the word adjectives. So we could say the writer used adjectives that shows he thinks it's a peaceful, friendly and organised place. And then we've got our method in there. You might want to focus on this word oasis if you know what it means, because that's quite a striking word. So by using the word oasis, it shows that he thinks it's like a beautiful spot in the middle of a desert, you know. So he's come through this horrible landscape of half demolished houses and wasteland, and the school has appeared like a mirage, you know, on the horizon. If you wanted to focus on that word oasis, you could. So again, a very positive view of the school. This contrasts completely with B. So sometimes you get just a really explicit statement that makes it very easy for you to spot the views. So here it says, no school can possibly be worse than this. So this is a gift for this question, and it's really obvious from this sentence that this writer views the school very negatively. Again, let's be a bit more specific. So it's clear that the writer thinks this is one of the worst schools that there could possibly be. He's never visited anywhere as bad. Okay. Then let's go back to source A. The other thing I spotted here was it said this description here. Shelves held attractive books, tables covered in shells, models, photographs and little artefacts. So again, this is a very nice positive description of what the writer's found in the school, and he uses a positive language such as attractive, and he's also used a list there, so that would cover our method. So the writers use a list to show just how many interesting and lovely things there are around the school. So the writer definitely has the view that the school is a very interesting and productive place maybe for the children. In contrast, here the writer describes a most distressing scene. So this is a very emotive word, distressing. What would a synonym be for that? Upsetting, you know? So it's obvious that the writer here found it almost, very scary to be in the school, very upsetting to be in the school, because he witnessed this fight. And the writer uses words like viciously and fearfully. So these adverbs here, really show that he found it a scary and dangerous place. Okay. So that's a little overview of question 4. So find where the writer gives their opinion, comment on how they've done that, and make sure you compare both texts.